Send them come for me, please. Me no need no Hennessy, me need trees. When she see me, she feel the weak knees. As she say me so cool, she feel the sea breeze. Breast them stiff, look like a knee squeeze, so she bless me. No need for me sneeze, can't stress me. Stress free from me. First of the face here, the voice today. Don't know say a kogency, but a kogency rocks channel. And today, bro, I have a different type of video reaction for you. And to be honest, I've been watching the Mind Unveiled channel. I've been watching content like this about the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, and mountains being giant trees, and the alternative history and the lies and the mud floods and the resets. Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot. Once you start going down this rabbit hole, it's a lot. Tartaria and all of these places, bro. It's a lot. So I wanted to bring one of these videos onto the channel and see how you guys, engage with it, interact with it if you guys want to see more of it. So today we'll have Nephilim, aliens, ancient giant trees, like Avatar the movie. A lot of people say Avatar the movie with the blue skin people is us. Where they came and they chopped down the tree and they lost the power and the bray and the vibrate. Even in Lord of the Rings, they had a story at the start of Lord of the Rings where they're talking about how people came in and they chopped down this big tree that had this light and this power and this, like, come on, bro. That's the thing, when they have so many stories saying the same thing, but in just different contexts, it kind of connect the dots mentally. But then at the same time, people are just going to say you're a crazy conspiracy theorist, and you're just looking for things to be excited about on the internet. Maybe that might be true. I might just be looking for things to get me excited on the internet. But that's because the history that you've been telling me, that Columbus founded the world and we've just been slaves ever since, I just don't buy into that. I just don't believe that. So, information like this is always entertaining and engaging for me. So I'm going to engage with it. So before we jump into the video, hit the like button, like how you hit this like button. Jump in the comments. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you believe it. Tell me if you don't like it. Tell me if you think this is, malarkey. If you think this is... Why am I saying that? I said that because I didn't want to say bullshit, but I'm past the 1 minute mark in the video, so I can't say the word bullshit. Tell me if you think it's bullshit. Tell me if you think he's lying. If he's just trying to, make up stuff for views. Let me know. From 2019 though, so a little bit late. But anyway, hit the like button, jump in the comments, and subscribe. Subscribe to me. Subscribe so we can hit 5K. We're at 4.3. I think we're at literally at 4,339 right now. So if you see this and you hit the like button, you can get it to 40. You understand? And then we jump into the party. You understand? So yeah, hit the like button, jump in the comments, subscribe, and let's jump into the video.
Have you ever wondered what this could be? Sure,
giant trees.
It looks like a table, but how did it become a table?
Tree stump.
We have two.
Yeah, like how is it just so flat? Like how is it just cut perfect like that? Cause somebody cut it.
Explanations. Lava flow?
Lava
rain?
flow.
When both of these theories fail, what are we left with? If it rained, it would affect the surrounding areas and certainly not leave a stump shape.
Don't it?
Lava must have come out in one complete extrusion.
Look at this. You see what I mean by it's just the consistency of what he's saying. He will say something and then he will show like 10 pictures proving what he said, and you're like, all right. Regardless of if what he said isn't the 100% fact, there is something going on. There's something behind what he's saying, because these pictures, like, I don't really even believe in coincidence, bro. If it's happening one after the other, something true. Something about it is true.
And certainly not leave a stump shape. Lava must have come out in one complete extrusion. And sure, not every stump has to be a tree. But is this tree theory really as crazy as it sounds?
No, it's not.
Wood can petrify into stone. And some who have looked into this objectively might conclude that these pillars are of basalt, but that still doesn't explain how they're made. Science can't explain everything.
Yeah, I think this one, hold on.
Basalt, but that still doesn't explain how they're made.
These tall pillars, I saw something about it, like they were talking about how this giant traveled across the lands without touching the sea. And they were saying it was like 40,000 pillars like him walk upon. I'm like, so even that, like, that's from a laptop as well. Because if you have a Lenovo, you know that they do this thing where they would put a picture on your display screen and have some like information bits that you can click on and go to some internet links. And it showed this. It showed the pillars and said that a giant took 40,000 steps to get where he needed to go, and he didn't touch the sea once. I didn't ask them for that. They showed me that on their own. So you see what I mean? There's a certain consistency with things that is like, after you hear it so many times, like, how am I not going to believe this? Let me play the video. I'm only 40 seconds in.
Science can't explain everything. Here is an explanation of the theory. The plateaus and mesas of the world are stumps of these great almighty trees of the past. They were cut down by the Nephilim as they served a certain purpose ages ago for our Mother Earth and humanity.
Alright. You understand? Show me some nice things. I don't know, man. This type of information always intrigued me.
As these trees were cut, the Earth became a completely different environment.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even call them trees, as they could have been something like a large antenna of sorts. A portal to another world. Like we hear in Jack and the Beanstalk, he climbed up into the clouds and entered the land of giants. If you believe it,
Jack and the Beans, you see what I mean? They told us about Jack and the Beanstalk as a childhood story, as like fiction. And then now when we get older, we start realizing, oh, they're finding bone evidence of like 17-foot tall people, 19-foot tall people. Where is this from? Where are these bones from? Because these people obviously existed. So if we're going to have all of these stories that they've been telling us from birth, we have these bones that they're finding and all of this information coming out now. I'll leave you to make your own conclusion, to come to your own conclusion, but it's pretty self-explanatory if you ask me.
Even the idea of giants, then the idea of giant trees isn't that far off. Genesis chapter 6.
That's my only problem though, like with their giant size and the size of earth and mountains now, like what were they doing at the time? Like they were bigger than everything. Maybe not. Maybe earth itself was bigger.
Verse 4 says, there were giants in the earth in those days. This is something we all have known since children. It's ingrained in our subconscious minds. You'd be surprised how many different cultures share the story of a world tree in the center of the world. A Chaldean inscriptions describe such a tree as growing at the center of the world. Its branches of crystal form the sky and droop to the sea.
Alright.
The Phoenicians thought the world like a revolving tree, over which was spread a vast tapestry of blue embroidered with stars.
Alright.
This main theme continues on in later ages to come. It would account for a story in Apollonius of Tyana that the people of Sardis doubted if the trees were not created before the earth, and the idea parallel to the controversy in the Talmud. Which came first? Heaven or earth?
Heaven.
One arguing that the object was made first and then the pedestal. The other that the foundation is laid before the building is erected. All the East knew of such a tree. In Japan, the gods broke their swords against it in vain.
The gods broke their
In the Norse system, a vast tree, the world ash, rises in the center of the earth, its branches forming the several heavens of God. Its roots strike deep into hell. Maori science still represents such a tree as its roots strike.
The world ash rise in the center. The earth, its branches forming several heavens of the gods. Hey.
Deep into hell.
Cause even he talks about the concept of the different heavens and the hell, and it's just the upper realms or lower realms and stuff like that. It's not even like heaven and hell that they've been telling us.
Maori science still represents such a tree as rising to the heavens. That dark nocturnal canopy which like a forest spreads its shade. Its mighty growth first forced asunder heaven and earth. It becomes apparent that this concept is monumental in the development of an early civilization.
Yeah.
Roraima is a giant plateau in Venezuela. There are also many others in this area, but Roraima is a very famous one. The natives that live here are called the Pemon and Capon. In their culture, they see Mount Roraima as a stump of a mighty tree that once held all the fruits and tuberous vegetables of the world. Felled by Makonema, their mythical trickster, the tree crashed to the ground, unleashing a...
By who?
Makonema.
Makonema, the mythical trickster. Just remember that name.
Their mythical trickster. The tree crashed to the ground, unleashing a terrible flood. Radoi in Pemon language means blue.
Could this mean where we got our flood stories from? Maybe. Because everybody said them cut down the tree and everybody said we had a flood. And this story say the cutting down of the tree caused the great flood. So maybe they're connected.
The ground, unleashing a terrible flood. Rodoi in Pamon language means blue, green, and Ma means great. They even mentioned that this was just thousands of years ago. Do you know what this means? What if Rodaima is like one of those trees from Avatar? Wouldn't you see the world in a different way?
I need to watch Avatar now. You know, so I've never watched Avatar the movie. I only watched Avatar the Last Airbender the show. But the blue people, I've never watched that movie before. I need to.
Now, it mentions felled by Makunima, their mythical trickster.
Yeah.
Someone made the tree fall. Some type of deity. Okay, let's keep reading. Also, keep in mind that Rodaima is known for its incredibly high frequency of UFO sightings, both atop and around the plateau.
Alright.
The Pamon people were the descendants of the mythic hero Makunema. While exploring the primordial world, Makunema came across the Wasaka tree, Tree of Life, in whose branches grew all types of cultivated and wild plants eaten by the people. Makunema therefore chopped down the trunk, Bai, of the Wasaka tree, which leaned towards the northeast. Hence, all the edible plants found today fell in this direction, especially in the areas covered
in the northeast. Hence, all the edible plants found today fell in this direction. I don't get what they mean by that, though.
Jungle. From the trunk of the...
Now, yeah, they cut the tree and all the provisions fell northeast direction, but what I have to do with the connection between the tree and now?
The Wasaka tree spouted a torrent of water, which caused a great flood during this primordial period. According to the
flood,
myth, this trunk remains still. This is Mount Rodaima, whence flow the rivers that pass through the traditional territory of these peoples. This also gives insight into the meaning of Angel Falls, which cascades from Rodaima's summit. Mount Rodaima is a sacred place and is a portal into other realms.
Whoa, for real?
These myths can tell us about...
Hey bro, we might need to go to Mount Rodaima, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get into that portal, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro, this earth stuff, yeah, man, I'm tired of it now, man. I swear, bro, we need the portal, bro. Like, yeah, I need that.
About a different side to reality that science can't seem to answer. Experiments and data are a necessity for advancement, but science can't have 100% answer for everything.
No.
This reality can be extremely hard for many to take in because, here's the truth.
So this could probably represent the tree and the different heavens, maybe, I don't know. But why is he blowing smoke? What's this?
Do you want to believe it or not, science can't prove what I'm saying to you.
No.
If you're operating completely from the left side of your brain, then I can't really move you forward because, you're right, there's little evidence. Just like there's little evidence for how consciousness came to be, or how nothing becomes something. And sure, you can be a theoretical physicist and come up with some gibberish, but ultimately what I'm saying is we don't know.
Is he saying what Albert Einstein came up with was gibberish? E equals MC squared is gibberish? I don't know. You can't ask me about anything math related, bro. Not me.
And sure, you can be a theoretical physicist and come up with some gibberish, but ultimately what I'm saying is we don't know. But there are these suppressed collective memories that we all have and that we all can tap into. But even more so, there's a body of oral myths and legends that have been passed on to us. We just refuse to look at it. We know about Hercules, the story of David and Goliath, but here's what we're getting to.
Oh.
We know about Hercules.
I just knew that Hercules was this big strong guy. What was like the main topic in the Hercules story? Like, what was the reason? What was the point of it? You know, all of these stories, like, they prove a point. What was the point in the Hercules story? Because I've never actually read it or gone through it. I just know Hercules was this big strong guy from way back when.
The story of David and Goliath.
And the Tyler Perry movie where the boy's like, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. That's all I remember about Hercules. Now watch it. David and Goliath. Watch it. Chop off the giant head. You see? Again, stories of giants have even been in the indoctrinations that they've been trying to put on us. So even in their, everything, they're still telling us about giants, bro. So it's like, why are we not believing now?
Goliath. But here's what we're getting to. The myths on the origin of our species. You know, the whole thing with giants and demigods,
yes.
aka the angels mating with humans.
Yes.
The creation of our current consciousness is something that modern science is not willing to rationalize, arguing that there is no way to rationalize it. But I disagree.
Okay.
It just takes more of a creative intelligence, the ability to think abstractly, or in other words, to think symbolically.
What even is this? Oh, wow. This. Hey, if anybody watching this and can explain what this is, please let me know. I have no idea.
That is what this reality is. A symbol of 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 a symbol.
Of a symbol.
But anyways, in order to understand all of this, we have to stop rationalizing everything based on our fantasy for space travel. This is how mainstream explains it all. That we're just hybrids of an alien god. This type of thinking still is based on the belief that we came from nothing and that the world has no meaning. Angel means spirit, and spirit means air. So these beings are some type of etheric matter. The whole idea that aliens are demons are a little bit closer to the truth. We also must consider the spiritual concepts when discussing the idea of great trees. Why are all the demons after these trees? What are these trees? Are these trees a part of creation? Do they have a connection with different realms? In Kabbalah, which is...
And you see what I mean? Like all of these different drawings and paintings and things that we're seeing, like, what was the inspiration for all of this? Where did all of this come from? Like, what does it mean and stuff like that, you know?
Do they have a connection with different realms?
Like this. And then when they say all of these ancient writings around it and it has all of this meaning, like, but what does it mean though? And it's always in this Latin or some long time language where it's not even being translated to nowadays times. You just see the pictures and, you know, the snake wrapped around the tree. Maybe it could represent the serpent in the Garden of Eden. You never know, bro. Like, you don't know what these things represent. And the language is not even in English to read it.
In Kabbalah, which is also based on the concept of a tree, it is the attempt to categorize God into different sections, different forces. That thing gets funneled down into all of existence. Isn't it interesting that each planet, or Nephilim, fallen one, has its own individual rule over a Sephiroth? These trees could be the spiritual forces that dictate a chain of metaphysical and physical realities after its secession. These hidden forces...
Yeah, right there you lost me, bro.
...and physical realities after its secession. These hidden forces are as to branches in the way they rule. Each of the fallen ones control different aspects to reality, the different gods of many different cultures. So why go over this? Well, in order to believe in giant trees, some type of giant deity must...
Like, what is this? What does this picture mean? All of this symbolism, bro. What does that mean? I don't know. Sometimes it just frustrates me, bro. Because I know that it means something and I should be connecting with this, but I just don't know.
Why go over this? Well,
why?
In order to believe in giant trees, some type of giant deity must have cut it down, as it says in many legends. This does not work on our current model of evolution, cosmology, or perception of the world. So this is one of the reasons why this idea is getting suppressed, because it doesn't matter if you believe it, as long as you don't understand that this has something to do with consciousness, God, magic.
Yeah.
It really is still a fantasy at the back of your mind, because, I mean, let's face it, if you saw a giant, you wouldn't believe it.
No.
Let's look at some other examples. This is the well-known Devil's Tower in Wyoming, USA.
Yeah.
Now, compared to Roraima, you can tell that the erosion is much different than Roraima. Different climates, maybe different cataclysms, different energy sources, whatever the case, it looks like a stump.
Yeah, it does.
The mainstream definition is that it was formed by igneous intrusion, that molten magma rose from the depth of the earth and stood in the form of elegant columns. It's also said to be the remains of what was once a giant volcano. Maybe that's the case, but these theories are formed because of our unwillingness to explore unconventional theories. We are blind to accepting such simple explanations. This is what we normally see with lava. It dries like this. Where do we see hexagonal patterns? In nature, in spirit. It's such a powerful symbol of harmony and balance. It has deep roots in esoteric philosophy, religion, and our human origin.
The 5-pointed star, man. They keep telling you about, they put it in everything. The 5-pointed and the 6-pointed stars.
Harmony and balance. It has deep roots in esoteric philosophy, religion, and our human origins. You find this with bees, and this is because the hexagon has the smallest perimeter among equal area figures. This form is the most effective for construction. Okay, let's take a look at the stem of flax. We see a similar pattern. Flax fiber stems have a hexagonal shape which keeps its shape vertically. Now come on, we can't just keep saying lava is the explanation for all these hexagonal shapes.
Yeah.
The theory really starts to fall apart. Well then what's the problem with the tree theory then? Well, you see, most of these pillars are columnar basalt, but the real issue is that science is steeped in uniformitarianism. The world
God damn, sorry. I had to pause on that word. Uniformitarianism. What? Say that again. I love that word.
issue is that science is steeped in uniformitarianism.
Woo!
The world could have been a much different place in the past. We still don't understand how consciousness came to be.
I
so
don't
anything
understand.
goes. And if
Like, I still don't understand how I can just close my eyes and have full-on conversations with different parts of me, different parts of my brain, different moods, different characteristics, different traits of me. Like, maybe I sound crazy to you, but hey, try it. Just close your eyes and just talk. Somebody will answer you. I promise you.
If science will look into the past and stop saying that the alchemists of old were simply misinformed, then maybe they could see the issue at hand. Physical reality
Alchemy is a true science. Magic is a true science and religion. Them, trust me.
simply misinformed, then maybe they could see the issue at hand. Physical reality is a creation of the subconscious and collective unconscious. The world was once more dreamlike, and we have slowly become more physical through the ages. In mainstream history, we can thank Aristotle for creating this type of modern consciousness. This over-analytical, if I can't prove it, it's not real. I understand it's a necessity to a degree in making progress, but as with all things, there must be balance. And we
Yeah.
have completely forgotten about this. Many of you are willing to look into these matters, but we have to agree, in general, many would scoff at this material. Take into consideration the myths of a flood from every culture. Let's suggest
I say this at the start of the video. That if everybody talk about giants, everybody talk about giant trees, everybody talk about floods, and then you have people saying that it's the cutting down of these giant trees that caused the flood. You're like, maybe I need to start connecting some dots from over here and over there. You know, maybe.
there was a worldwide flood, and that the minerals that we find in what we call basalt rocks were distributed as particles of soil. The heavy floodwaters would have pushed these minerals into any submerged object. Also, consider that the minerals are being compressed by a vast body of water together with underwater volcanoes. This could solidify very quickly. The problem is, science loves
Maybe.
to solve problems from within a box, specifically
Yes.
when it comes to our origins. I just think that it becomes insufficient when it comes to consciousness, the history of how our world was formed, and what this reality even is. Science won't even accept giants, even
Facts.
though it becomes clear that there's some type of cover-up going on with the Smithsonian Institute.
I keep saying it. How they can cover up giants when they're literally finding the skeletal remains? How can you do that? And you're posting it. Like the people that are finding it are posting it and sending it to the newspapers and posting it everywhere. It doesn't go like mainstream, but if you search for it, you'll find it.
Especially now that they fund the History Channel to literally teach everything but history.
Exactly.
Just another cash cow.
That's why even the ancient alien stuff from History Channel or like HBO or things that I know are like, I wouldn't say government funded, but yeah, government funded. You know, the bigger heads are putting in the production for these things, you know, putting the money together for the production of these things. I'm never going to watch this. 'Cause I know most likely the information you're telling me is false. 'Cause everything you told me before was false. Everything? Probably not everything, but most things.
Anyways, basically what I'm saying is stop trying to get 100% answer for everything. Most of these people who can't accept these ideas or respond with mocking are atheist or
You can be atheist and agnostic just as you can be an agnostic theist. What? Where do you sit on the spectrum? Agnostic atheist. I lack belief in a God, but don't deny we can know for 100% sure that there is no God. So she lacks belief, but she knows that you can't know 100% for sure. So you just contradict yourself. I lack belief in a God, but I'm 100% sure that there is no God. Oh, okay. That's what he thinks. She said, I believe there's a God, but don't claim to know for sure. It's like she wishy-washy. She's on the fence. And then Gnostic thesis, I believe there's a God. I know certain that this exists. Okay. I mean, yeah. I guess most people are all on this spectrum somewhere, somehow.
Agnostic. So if you're willing to say, I don't know, then can we just meet at, sure, I don't know how these mesas are formed, but hey, I'll keep an open mind.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, because now we can learn to use our eyes and let our mind attract the answer. Yes, that is possible.
Yes.
To a degree. Reality can speak to you.
Like, look at this. Yes, reality can speak to you. I just told you that a while ago. But look at this, though. Like, how do you explain this, fam? What is this?
And then you can come to your own conclusions. What if in the past reality was like Avatar the movie? There was magic. We lived on the giant trees. Till one day, the gods became angry. Giant gods came down and destroyed the great trees of the earth, desolating the landscape and leaving it barren. Ages passed and the old pillars that connected the realms had been destroyed. The earth was cut off from spirit. Daniel chapter 4.
And now, they bring in the Bible verses. You see, there's so many things that you can use to come to your own conclusion on this. And there's information that you could use to come to a conclusion against this. So it's like, which one you want to do? Do you want to fight for this information or do you want to fight against it? Me, I'm not for or against it. I'm just here to listen. You can just be here to listen and come to your own conclusion. But you know, coincidences aren't coincidences. Like, if it starts to add up after a while, you know why it's adding up.
Verse 10 through 15. Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw and behold a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was a meat for all. The beast of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, Hew down the tree, and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit. Let the beast get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches.
So what did I do? What did I do? No, for real, what did we do, bro? Why you come down and cut down the tree? What happened? What happened? What happened? For real, I need to know what happened, bro. What did we do? Was it because, you know, with the serpent tell we don't take the tree, don't take a certain fruit, or is it that story? And then that's why them come down and chop down. Hey man, you never know. It really could be the serpent come and tell Eve or Adam for do what them do. They did it, took the tree, God got upset, or Anunnaki, Elohim, Nephilims got upset, came down and was like, oh, you don't want to listen to me? Alright, chop down the tree, everything get fuck. Yeah, like Skilly Bang, everything get fuck when I reach. Yeah. And him just say, you know what, cut all of this niceness that you guys had, cut this, because you don't want to listen to me. Maybe. It doesn't seem too far apart if we're going off of what we've been hearing so far. You know what I mean? Just think about it.
Scatter his fruit. Let the beast get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, and the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beast in the grass of the earth.
So even in that, they're saying, leave the stumps as the roots of the earth, and they left them. So, hey, sounds true, but is it? Who knows?
So in the Bible, Nebuchadnezzar is retelling his dream, and a watcher, or an angel, came and cut down the tree, or at least wanted to leave the stump in the earth. Now interestingly, in the book of Enoch, one of the many scriptures not included in the Bible,
yes,
something very...
We need to do a video on that as well, and the Gospel of Thomas. Yeah.
Very interesting to say about giant trees. Chapter 66, verse 2 through 3. Now then shall the angels labor at the trees, but when they proceed to do this, I will put my hand upon it and preserve it. So the angels are striving at the trees, and God wants to continue to preserve it. Maybe through some event that petrified the stump immediately, keeping the roots intact. The seed of life shall arise from it, and a change shall take place, that the dry land may not be left empty. I will establish thy seed before me forever and ever, and thy seed of those who dwell with thee on the surface of the earth. It shall be blessed and multiplied in the presence of the earth, in the name of the Lord.
Hold on. Sometimes when people read things for me, I can't get it unless I read it myself. The seed of life shall, they labor at the tree, but when they proceed to do this, put my hand on reserve it. Yeah. Seed of life shall arise from me, a change shall take place. What change? That the dry land may not be left empty. Okay. Thy seed before me forever and ever. Forever and ever. So what? We now got done? We now got dead? And the seed of those who dwell in thee on the surface of the earth. Okay, so we're here now. On the surface of the earth. It shall be blessed and multiplied in the presence of the earth in the name of the Lord. Alright, that last line, I don't know what that one talking about, but I guess I understand this.
It's the seed of these giant trees that give life to the barren lands, the connection with all things. Chapter 82, A Vision, verse 5 through 6. And falling to the earth, I saw likewise the earth absorbed by a great abyss, and mountains suspended over mountains. Hills were sinking upon hills. Lofty trees were gliding off from their trunks, and were in the act of being projected, and of sinking into the abyss. If we combine both verses, we start to realize that the angels, who were after the trees, had something to do with the sinking of these great trees, or as it says, gliding off their trunks. They were projected, and landed into the abyss or hell, or even the waters. The word Nephilim is now being portrayed by History Channel as meaning aliens.
No.
I want to make it very clear that the way that they're presenting it is complete BS.
Alright then. So you see, I definitely not going to watch that after mine unveil just tell me say it's BS. You see all the information mine unveil just show me a while ago? No, brother, I'm not go over History Channel or HBO or wherever.
Aliens are metaphysical, not terrestrial beings from other rocks in the sky. If anything, they may be other physical beings from inside of our Earth, but that can be for another video.
Yeah, inner
Such an
Earth.
assume the word Nephilim comes from the Hebrew word nephal, which usually means to fall, to come down, creating the translation, to come down from above. The form Nephilim can't mean fallen one.
Look at this. This dude is massive. I'm the size of his foot. Man, I wish I was a giant or something, bro. Or like some superpowers or something. Like just being a regular human, man, it's not fun, bro. I can't lie to you. I'm tired of it. I need some powers.
Ones, the spelling would be Nephilim. Likewise, Nephilim does not mean those who fall away. That would be Nephilim. The only way in Hebrew to get Nephilim from Nephal, by the rules of Hebrew morphology, word formation, would be to presume a noun spelled Nephil and then pluralize it. I say presume since this noun does not exist in biblical Hebrew. In Aramaic, the noun Nephil does exist. It means giant. Making it easy to see why the Septuagint, the ancient Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible, translated Nephilim as gigantus, giant.
Alright.
Sitchin wants to argue the term Nephilim means those who came down from heaven, so he can make the Nephilim sound like ancient astronauts.
Wow.
Not to mention he low-key was working for the CIA. So, there were giants
Wait, who was working for the CIA?
down from heaven, so he can make the Nephilim sound.
Who?
Argue the term Nephilim means as gigantus, giant. Sitchin wants to argue the term Nephilim means those who came down
Who's Sitchin? I guess the guy that wrote that book he's talking about.
from heaven, so he can make the Nephilim sound like ancient astronauts. Not to mention he low-key was working for the CIA. So, there were giants in the past. If you haven't seen my other video on giants, check it out, as there's a lot to cover.
If you want me to check out more videos of mine unveiled or any videos like this, let me know in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Either you request it, tell me the video that you want me to go and look for, or just tell me, react to more Mind Unveiled.
And I can't really fit it all into this video. Also, it gets into cosmology and our origins. Yes.
Look at this. Look how low the thing is, and then look at this down here. This look like us. Probably true.
We have the Titans, the great giants that had to do with the creation of our realm. The Archons, if you want to get metaphysical. But there's also the concept that
Wow.
we humans were larger in the past as well, and have
Yeah.
slowly become smaller in size. H.P. Blavatsky goes over this. She says the first root race were androgynous blue beings that were called the Polarians.
Blue, androgynous blue beings. I will start talking about Avatar at the start, about blue avatar beings, and you see what I mean? After so many coincidences about people saying the same thing about original people and long time stuff, like, am I just going to say all of you guys are crazy? Like, everybody just crazy? Everybody? Nah, everybody can't be crazy.
The human body in this age was much larger, and it makes so much sense now. The movie Avatar is real. We're those blue beings.
Thank you.
That's the best way we can imagine it right now. Although, like I said, that these pillars could be beyond trees as they're connecting this plane of reality to other planes or dimensions. These trees could also be energy devices for the Earth. Are the crystal caves the remnants of these ancient root systems? This is because crystals form under these antennae that are charged with immense energy. This is where all the gems of the world come from. Caves that go within the roots of these ancient trees.
Wait, gyms of the world come from? Hey, I was gonna go to the gym today, bro. You don't know. Kogency getting bolo on the dolo. Don't look at that sweat mark, bro. Look at that bicep. Look at that bolo. Sorry. He spoke about gym, bro, and I go to the gym. All right? Excuse me for getting excited. Pardon me.
Because crystals form under these antennae that are charged with immense energy.
Yeah.
This is where all the gems of the world come from. Caves that go within the roots of these ancient trees. It makes sense now why crystals have a metaphysical nature. Everything is connected. The largest tree in the world is called...
So, you know, like, no, I don't think I used to think those astronomy people or the crystal people were crazy. With all of those stones and sages. Nah, they ain't crazy. We might need to get into some crystals, man.
a metaphysical nature. Everything is connected. The largest tree in the world is called Hyperion, interestingly enough, and underneath, of course, there's a crystal cave. Now maybe when we look, we can see with different eyes. And who knows, maybe we can now make new discoveries that lead us to a new understanding of the world.
Yes.
How do you think the mesas of the world were formed? Is
I
it
don't know.
aliens? How about the Nephilim,
Yeah.
giants, or
Yeah.
the fallen ones?
Yes.
Or is it giant trees?
All of them.
Let go of everything you think to be true. Relax the mind and ask the question, do I truly understand what this reality is?
No, I don't. I really don't understand what this reality is. And that's why we're here to try and understand and figure it out. Because there's too many things that go unexplained and that just, oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look at this. But nobody ever goes, all the way down a rabbit hole and get a concrete conclusion or answer for stuff, which I don't think we ever will for anything. If you want to go the Columbus route, you can find all the evidence to say that, yeah, Columbus discovered the world and that's our history and that's, everything. If you want to go the giant route, you can go to the Bible, you can go to civilizations and their text and ancient stories. And bro, there's so much information out here in the world that you can literally use it for your own benefit. And that's what the elites have been doing ever since, like, what, 12,000, 1,200, 1,300 something. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what this stuff actually is, if it's true or not. I kind of like it though. Even if it's not true, I just like the information in general. So if you like this stuff, this type of content, if you don't like it, let me know. If you want to see me react to more Mind Unveiled or more videos about Nephilims, aliens, ancient giant trees, Avatar the movie, I probably should watch it on my own. Or the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Thomas, things like that. Let me know in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, jump in the comments, and subscribe. Subscribe to me. Subscribe. So we can hit 5K. We're at 4.3, 4,339 subs exactly. So if you hit the subscribe button, you're gonna take it to 40. And then we can jump in at the party. Yeah. I keep saying that now, but just subscribe so we can gain more subs, man. Come on. Hit the like button, jump in the comments. Subscribe. Couldn't say I'm about this motherfucker, right? Peace.
Send them come for me, please. Me no need no Hennessy, me need trees. When she see me, she feel the weak knees. As she say me so cool, she feel the sea breeze. Breast them stiff, look like a knee squeeze, so she bless me. No need for me sneeze, can't stress me. Stress free from me.